Years ago, a domestic violence advocate wrote to me because she was frustrated at work. She would occasionally send me a recording of herself practicing motivational interviewing. I would review it and provide feedback as her motivational interviewing coach. On this particular day, she sent me a recording of herself, but in her email she wrote, "Hi, Dr. Watson. I'm at a loss with this person. It's like no matter what I do, she is just determined to stay in this abusive relationship. I know, I can't make her do anything, but I'm just so frustrated and I'm really worried about her safety. Can you help me?" I listened to the recording, and while it is true that the client did seem focused on staying in her relationship, the advocate played an important role of focusing the conversation on the reasons to stay. Now, I'm certainly not saying it is the advocate's fault that the person seemed interested in staying in the abusive relationship, but the advocate may be a big part of the reason the conversation stayed focused there. The advocate asked, "How come you're so hesitant to leave?" The client responded, "What if he finds me? What if he makes my life a living hell?" The advocate asked, "Why don't you make a safety plan?" The client said, "Because he'll always be one step ahead of me." The advocate asked, "Why aren't you willing to let your family help?" The client answered, "There is no way I'm getting them involved in all this mess." The advocate asked again, "But what is worrying you about involving your family?" The client answered, "He would hurt them, and I'm not going to let that happen." The advocate asked, "Last time you said you were going to look into some alternative options. Why haven't you done that yet?" And the client said, "I'm just busy and tired and stressed out." I called the advocate and I said, "It sounds like you're really invested in your client leaving this relationship," and the advocate interrupted me and defended herself. She said, I know. I'm not supposed to push her to do anything. I promise I wasn't doing that, but I can't let her get beaten to death. I was just asking questions, but she is so stuck in the sustain talk mode." And I said, "You're not just asking questions. You're searching for problems to solve. The safety plan, the family support, alternative options. You're like an explorer hunting for buried treasure. But in this case, the treasure you're looking for is a problem you can fix." And I didn't get to hear any change talk in this recording. The advocate said, "Right, I know, that's what I'm trying to say. She didn't have any change talk. She was just stuck in sustain talk." And I revealed to the advocate, "You asked her for sustain talk and she provided it." She paused to digest that information. So I added, "You asked her. Why don't you? Why haven't you? What's worrying you?" And she politely complied with your line of questioning, which sent her down a sustain talk path. Likely, this client is highly ambivalent. She feels at least two ways about leaving her relationship, but you only spoke to one side of the ambivalence, the side that is less motivated. Sometimes we do this because our righting reflex is looking for problems to solve, but don't neglect the other side, the side that might be more curious and interested in change. As the coach, I had to help the advocate understand that by asking, "Why haven't you?" and "Why didn't you?" she was requesting sustain talk, keeping the client stuck in that mode. And while it's always acceptable to ask for sustain talk, it's really not fair to ask for sustain talk only to get mad at the clients who provide it at our request. That's a trap, and we need to stop setting it. The client never returned to meet with the advocate again, so we'll never know what could have been if the advocate had asked, "How important is it to you that you seek safety from your partner? What makes you want to take a step toward your independence? And what might help you feel more ready to make this move.